This will be Recovery Vlog for June 8th, 2025. It was a Sunday. Before I get into the goals for the day, I'm literally just going to go over... Before I get into the events of the day, I'm just going to go right down what the goals were. So they were brush teeth, lake with Roman after zoo, be at Summers at 9:15, evening vlog, didn't do that. Buy snacks for the zoo at 8, be a zoo at 10:30, nap, catch up on video logs, didn't do that. Take focus meds and wake up at 7:30. So we went to bed at like 2 on Saturday, woke up at 7:30. So I knew we were in for a rough day, like it was going to be a day, dude. But first thing, I checked that off, took my focus meds, and then I went to the store first thing and picked up select Uncrustables, some pepperoni, juice boxes, fruit snacks, fruit roll-ups, and Rice Krispie Treats, I think were everything. And then came home and I like put it all in Ziploc bags because, I'll explain later. So we went over to Summers, the in-laws, and picked up all the kids. And then we took 3 separate cars just to fit everybody. And the drive there was actually really fun, and we had a good time at the zoo. So while we were there, we split up into groups. So it was 4 groups. And I had made 3 bags because I miscounted in my mind, but it worked out. So it was like me and Ava had 3 kids. Summer and Eric had their 2 kids. Daniel had 2 of his 2 youngest kids. And then my mother-in-law had the oldest boy with her. And so we were all walking around. It was really, really fun. We all like kind of took different directions and like didn't really see each other until later. So we were like walking around and like we went and saw like the inside like lizard area and like some monkeys, and then walked by the lions, and that was really cool. And then we like converged on this like pavilion area, and they have there's like a little playground for the kids. So they were all chilling on that, and we were like sitting there in the shade, just like, oh my god. But we ended up having some lunch, and at the end of that, we were like, dude, it's getting hot, we gotta go. And so we ended up afterwards doing this river, like, I don't know what it's called, I want to call it like a pontoon thing, but it's like a little ferry basically, and this dude basically just takes you around the lake, and there's like a little pond, and he takes you around and just like talks about animals, and it's pretty cool. I thought it was really fun. So we did that, and then took our group back and saw the parts of the zoo that we didn't see. I think the coolest part was the butterfly area that we walked through. There's like a little butterfly enclosure basically, and so there's 2 airlocks, and so you walk in and this lady like gives you a little thing and like a little spiel, just like, hey, don't step on butterflies, don't try and catch them. If they land on you, cool, don't ask for it. And then, so we went in there, and they were, like, flying around. One butterfly landed on my chest, and I was just like, bye. And I was like, okay, thanks, bro. And then, so we were, like, in there for probably a couple minutes. And then got through, and on the other airlock, this lady, like, makes you start spinning to see if, like, there's any butterflies on you. Because if they land on you, they can, like, escape, basically. And, so we left that, and then it was, like, super hot. We're all tired. And then we went to the goat petting exhibit. We went and saw the tiger. And then we went back to the indoor like lizard area and just waited for everyone. And then so we left, and then Ava and I had to immediately get ready to go to the lake with Roman. So I dropped off my caravan at the house and went home and like unpacked all the snacks that I could. And I felt like crap, dude. Like I had such a bad headache. So I like quickly put everything away and was just like, okay, lake. So we headed to the lake, and navigating was ridiculous because we don't go to the lake, and apparently everyone else in the dog does. So the parking lot was like almost completely full, and all the beaches were like packed with people. There was not 1 inch of free shade, it felt like, and it was just so hot, and I had already had such a bad headache, and like every time I stood up it was just like blood rushed to my head, and I was just like, oh my god, bro. So I ended up laying and like resting on a towel while Ava and Roman like hung out in the water. So it was really nice, but I was just like, did not feel good. So we ended up leaving, and then got home and absolutely passed out, dude. I was so tired. And then so we got home and passed out, and then I woke up and Ava was sending a voice message on her phone to someone, and I was just like, for real right now, for real, waking me were super dehydrated and hungry, so I heated us up some pot roast and we watched like an episode of the originals, I think, and we went back to bed around 2 a.m. and woke up fine the next day. But I was just like, oh my god, am I tired, dude? Oh my god, I was so tired. So tired. It was crazy. But yeah, I'll share a brief daily thought and then I'm off to bed because my throat hurts. So yeah. Daily thought was just about zoos. Like, we got there and it was really definitely a weird experience to see just animals in captivity. You know, it's like it's really obvious which animals are, I don't want to say fine with captivity, but more accustomed to it. Like the goats chilling, like butterflies not unhappy. Like, it's obviously like trying to fly up and out and away and like to other things, but they're not like being weird. Like, they're just being butterflies. Like lizards were fine. Lizard enclosure were fine. But like when I saw like monkeys, lions, tigers, I think there was a baboon. But it's literally just like, it's crazy to think they're just in captivity like that. And someone drew a parallel online that I really liked, that like it's hard for animals to procreate in captivity. Like, animals, they just don't do it for some reason. Oh my god, is my screen? My bad. But they just don't do it for some reason. Like, they just don't procreate in captivity. And so obviously everyone knows America's birth rate is declining. Just in general, like, people are having less kids. And someone drew the parallel of like, yeah, creatures that feel like they're in captivity won't want to make more of themselves. Like, they just won't do it. And so I feel like everyone kind of views issues as individual issues when there could be four causes like compounding on each other, right? So we have a shaky economy. Like, my children's life will be worse than mine. I have a better opportunity at life than my kids will. That's really not normal in America. Like, for the past 5 to 8 generations, every time, just living in America, not leaving America, not going off to war, whatever, just being in America, your kids have typically lived a better life than you have. And especially true since World War I. Especially true. So from 1925 to 2025, we're really getting to the point where Gen X was having kids and millennials were growing up in a worse time than they grew up in. And now millennials are having kids and they're going to grow up in worse times. And so it's like, oh man, like, no one wants to have kids because it sucks to be alive right now. Like, it's hard. And so, like, that is an issue. I would say the economy is a driving force. That is the initiative. I don't want to have kids. Then also, higher standards. Like, people want intelligent people. If your kids are not intelligent, you're not gonna like them. And then 3 is like the emotional maturity. Like, people are emotionally maturing much slower than previous generations. Whether it's good or bad, for better or for worse, in the long term, for now, people aren't growing up and taking accountability and taking responsibility and becoming full-fledged humans who think about all perspectives of things until, like, they're well into adulthood, like, well into maturity. And even I'm not fully there yet. I'm 20. Like, I'm not fully there yet. I'm 21. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. And so, like, I sit here and I can see these issues occurring. And then also, we feel like we have this, like, overarching master that we have to, like, that takes a bit of our paycheck every time we make money. Like, we feel indentured to something. And so it's like, it's this weird combination of poor economy, emotional immaturity, did I mention 3 or 4? I forgot. But, and then we feel like we're in captivity in society, like, humans aren't doing the things they were meant to do to be attractive to other humans. Like, we're not, our biological ideas is create things, supply things, make kids. Like, that's what our biology wants us to do. We aren't growing up in a time where it's convenient for us or natural for us to go out and create things and do things. We're living in a time where it's comfortable for us to consume entertainment. And it's really, really, really affecting the birth rate, unsurprisingly. And so it was just interesting going into a zoo and seeing that captivity firsthand and being like, oh man, these animals are not natural here. Like, this is weird, dude. But it was a cool experience, so I will say that. Anyways, I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful June 8th. I know I did. It was really, really fun. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I'll see you all tomorrow.